once again, our viewers of Oakham Television. You're welcome to the Saints once again. My name is Mr. Hayes. I'm already back to this very particular arrangement of Agafiire Mu week. Remember, the show comes up every single Friday, right from the hours of 3 to the hours of 4. But it's a little bit kind of delay, but we couldn't really miss to reach out to you and also let you get you updated over what has actually transpired through the week. One more time, I want to welcome you guys that have already joined in. Thanks for joining. Thanks for having actually joined the show, wherever you're catching it from. Just know that what we're doing is actually very, very, very big. So one more time, I want to tell you that my name is Hayes and the show is Agafiire Mu week. For the ones that have just joined us today, you're most welcome onto this very particular platform. And I want to tell you that for the ones that would wish to join us, you can simply move on to that is your YouTube, type the word Oakham TV, subscribe and be in position to actually get onto this very particular arrangement. And don't forget to also put on that bell that will enable you every time be in position to access all the shows that will be coming up onto the Oakham television. And just a reminder, this show is actually brought to you that is by Kabalega Resort. It is located a few kilometers off Masindi town, that is along Kampala Masindi Kampala highway. So you can simply reach out to them. They've gotten some good gardens, that is a conference hall, they've gotten accommodations, they've gotten a bar, a swimming pool, and everything that you actually need for your excitement and everything. Maybe you have a party, you can simply reach out to them and have it done. And every single Sundays, these people have actually gotten that is a live band that is every single Sunday. So it's always crazy on that very live band does stream onto the Oakham television. So you can simply be in position to catch up with all these very, very, very interesting segments as will be coming down into the Oakham television. One more time, the week has actually been very, very, very long. The week has actually been long, and a lot of things have transpired right from I left you guys. That was last Friday. We've seen a lot of things going down. A number of people have lost their lives, and we're actually going to talk about all this because we have also seen the days of Segirinya, that is Muhammadi, the member of parliament of Kawempe, and also see that is the death of that is the Toro musician, that is Kigambo, Rally Moses, also died this very week, and the manager, that is of manager of Stanbic Bank Masindi, also lost her life this very week by the names of I'll be coming back with the details, but just keep locked into that is the show. By the names of Doreen, definitely. So just keep locked into the show, and then allow me come back shortly, just from after a short break. And when I come back, we'll be indulging into these stories. We'll actually get to know what has transpired into the week, what is happening in Masindi, and also where that is into the world. Briefly, we come back shortly after commercial break. Once again, you're welcome back from that very commercial break. A little bit before getting to a break, I told you that this show is proudly sponsored, that is by Kabalega Resort, and they are located a few kilometers off Masindi town, that is along Kampala Highway. Once again, you're welcome to the sites of Welcome TV. The show is Agafiire Mu. Nowadays, I do happen to be here alone, but shortly you'll be seeing a couple of people happening to be onto the site as we're trying to analyze and talk about these very stories in its in details. I want to begin with the stories that have actually gone down at this place of Masindi, where we actually situated in. I'll begin with a story that have actually gone down today. We have seen a couple of councillors storming off, that is the residencies or the premises of that is James Ventures, located along Masindi Kampala Highway, a few kilometers just from the town as you're heading to Kirasa, Kampala. We've seen a couple of people actually, that is the councillors from the municipal council, storming off this place after they got some small information or alerted that this man, the businessman, the investor, that is James Ventures, that is trying to fence off this very place where the number of structures of the municipal council, and some people were alleging that this man acquired this land illegally, and as the municipal council, they have been actually for a couple of times trying to engage in this man to come and explain on how he accessed this piece of land, but he have not been in position to turn up. So this actually prompted them to actually turn up and storm off this very place after hearing that this guy is that is fencing off this very location. It actually called upon a couple of councillors and stakeholders from that is a number of stakeholders from the municipal council to reach out to this very place. And I think before we get into more of the story, I pray we first get into you get to look at the video, what has actually happened today at this very Friday around the afternoon hours. That is at the premises of James Ventures. This one.
Because we were there to fight for we are there to fight for our city. Right now, they have also added on another insult one injury. They have given this land to investor who donated by the name of James Ventures. But for us, we are ready to continue with the battle so that we succeed to secure this land for the institution. That is it.
Tata.
But for us, we are ready to continue with the battle so that we succeed to secure this land for the institution. That is it.
Tata.
Welcome television. What you've seen behind the video of Kabalega Resort is actually what has transpired today down places of that is Kabalega Resort. That is along Masindi Kampala Highway at the premises of this investor known as James Ventures. To give you a little bit of the story, a way back in time, we've seen that a number of accusations, a number of clashing has actually been coming up time after time, whereby they've been talking a lot about this very investor known as James Ventures. We remember a way back in time there was some liberal conflict about these very structures that are actually raising concerns today, whereby the chairman LC5 together with that is the mayor were called on different media platforms to come and explain how did this person actually access these structures and how did he start up his operations in that is a Masindi district or operating around the place. Because when this man came in, he started like collecting garbage around the street using his trucks, and when they today the media personalities invaded into this very that is issue after hearing a number of accusations coming up, like the guy was extorting a lot of money or requesting a lot of money from these very people. They were actually very challenged and say that no, this is not how it's happened. It was supposed to be. And a lot was said during that very span, whereby we saw the LOC5 denying, and that is the mayor also denying. It was kind of a lot of contradiction in the middle there. But at the end of the day, we ended up seeing that they all came onto the table. But today, I'm actually getting surprised on how this is actually moving on. Because I heard that these people had agreed that James Ventures had to actually start paying taxes for what he was doing within the streets of Masindi town, giving out tax over his works. But this has actually been continuous, where we saw him operating around. But today, it's when we saw these people actually storming off these very places. Basing on a number of accusations and the complaints that were coming up from different councillors, some other people were alleging that some officials into the municipal council may have eaten money from this very, very investor. From this very investor, and this is the reason why they have been actually silent and ceased to appear onto this very this very day storm that they have actually done today, that is at his premises. So I want us to relook at this very video over what has also gone down onto this very day before we get to indulge into some other stories. Keep watching, watch out for this.
Because we are there to fight for our citizens. Right now, they have also added in another insult on India. They have given this land to the investor by the name of James Venture. But for us, we are ready to continue with the battle so that we succeed to secure this land for the institution. That is it.
One more time, that is actually what has gone down. That is in Masindi district today. At this very week, happening down places of that is Masindi, of just few meters from that is Masindi town. That is where James Ventures actually stationed himself, or where he's sat. Okay, it is said that these structures are owned by municipal council, but there are a number of accusations, a number of complaints coming up on how this gentleman accessed this very place. So they actually came up after understanding that this guy is fencing up this very place, where some councillors were alleging that this man may end up grabbing off this very piece of land, and they're actually requesting him to come up with documents that are showing them on how he really accessed this very piece of land. So that is actually what has happened today. That is in Masindi district. But into some other stories that have also gone down to into Masindi district this very week, we see that is the manager of Stanbic Bank Masindi has actually also actually passed on also this very, very week by the names of Doreen. She's called Doreen who. That is the manager of Stanbic Bank. This very, very weak. She has also not been in position to make it to any other day. We see she's called Doreen Doreen Rabgaya, that was the manager of Stanbic Bank. As we're speaking right now, she's no more. And that is some of the stories that have made rounds this very week. That is to Masindi district. May her soul rest in eternal peace, but it's actually one of the things that have actually made people so surprised, because this lady, it is said that she fell into her bathroom and unfortunately collapsed and lost her life immediately. So that is it. And moving to some other stories that have also gone down to that is Bunyoru, crossing over from Masindi and now moving to some other districts. We see this very week in Hoima City, where we saw in Kiriatete, so that is around Hoima City, where we saw a woman in her around 30s, actually closing off herself in a room and wanting to commit suicide over the money, 4 million Southern shillings that she has actually acquired from different people into the locality, including her mother. So this lady was actually rescued by some persons that alerted police after this lady had closed herself into a room for that is actually day. And when people tried to pimp into the room, they saw that she was lying into the bed and she looked to be unconscious. And immediately, these are very persons were in position to alert police, and they came and broke the door. They got into the house and found this lady unconscious. And I don't know currently how she's seeing, but I last heard of this very story when this lady was still actually getting some medical attention into that is at the hospital. So we shall keep embedded into the story, but I think that is some other stories that is actually happening for and this actually calls upon for the people that are also happening to be into the same situation, that it is never the same. It's never good actually do that. That is Ravgaya, Ravgaya. That is the woman member of, sorry, not the woman, the manager, Stanbic Bank Masindi, photo behind there that lost her life. That is Ravgaya Doreen from that is Stanbic Bank Masindi. That was the manager, but as we're speaking, she lost her life. And away from there, we still had gone to some other stories that is in places of Hoima, and that is actually what happened over that lady that wanted to commit suicide. And away from that story from Hoima still in Bunyoru, we also get to cross and see some other places of Bunyoru. That is crossing over. That is to Toro. We see another tragic also coming up this very week, whereby we saw another gentleman also getting to losing his life. That is a musician of Toro known as that is a Kigambo, I think. Kigambo, Raleigh Moses also losing his life this very week. It is alleged that this gentleman felt unfair, and when he was taken to the hospital, unfortunately, he was not simply turned. They didn't actually quickly turn up for him, and due to the situation that he was in, he just unfortunately lost his life. But getting off him and looking at the comments that were got from that is one of the technical persons at the hospital, she said that this lady this gentleman, the musician, got referred to the theater by from the is this the POD, I think. He got a document to go for surgery, whereby the condition, but when he was reached into the surgery, the condition that was in actually needed him to first relax before the surgery was made. Unfortunately, by waiting for that very process, this person passed off, unfortunately. So that is according to some communications that we were actually coming up from the technical persons to this very hospital. But as we're speaking right now, from the information that I'm getting over this very story, it is say that this that is DHO, no, some technical person from that is at the hospital, not yet confirmed clearly, has already been apprehended or stopped from his operations as the investigations are ongoing. So let's wait and see how things will move on and what will actually be happening after that. Anyway, moving from that very story and crossing over to the other stories that have actually made rounds into this very week, I'll move to a story that is actually happening to have actually created a lot of statements, a lot of people. It has actually put the world on tension, or the country on tension. That is the days of the member of parliament of Kawempe, known as Segirinya Muhammadi, that passed on. That was I think yesterday, yesterday morning. And as we're speaking right now, I want to take you way back into some small stories of this gentleman before we get to look at the video. It is said that this man, way back in time, a few years ago, this man spent like 2 years in prison over allegations that came up in some places of Masaka and Kawempe, those places of Up City, whereby there was some kind of some kinds of killing that went down, and it was alleged that these were the very people that were financing these killings that into some places of that is Uganda, and these people were apprehended together. Segrinya with the colleague called Sewanyana. They were apprehended, took to prison for a given span of time, but right from the time he came back from prison, he has not been in a good condition. He has actually been battling a lot of complications, and allegations were coming down that he was seriously tortured when he was in prison. We don't know how true it is, but it was alleged that this guy was seriously tortured. That was by the time he was in prison. So this guy started from the prison. He was into a critical condition, and he was started being transferred over outside here, moving to Aga Khan, that is in Kenya, and some other hospitals outside the country to seek for medical attention. But that has actually taken a couple of time. He would be actually discharged for a short span, and again brought back to the hospital till the time that he lost his life. That was yesterday in the morning. So the guy that we're speaking about, that is Muhammad Segrinya, is the one onto the screens. May his soul rest into eternal peace. That is his photo, and I pray that Mr. Producer will get some little videos that I happen to see happening that I happen to see onto the screens of Welcome TV for the viewers of Welcome TV to see what is actually happening right now into the Parliament. Because as we're speaking right now today, we have seen the body of that is the Member of Parliament for Kawempe also being laid before the Member of Parliament for, that is into the Parliament for mourning. So I pray that we happen to see those videos for the viewers of Welcome TV, and then we proceed to some other stories that are also making ground into the country at large. Definitely is we are waiting for the videos. That is Segrinyak. I've actually tried to be in position to trace for the colleague that is Sewenyana, but as we're speaking right now, by my research, I wasn't in position to reach out to or to get anything said by Sewenyana, because since this man started being started being sent to hospital and different places, we have seen that as the colleague has actually been very, very silent. Remember, by the time all these guys came back from prison, they were all not in a good condition. But this guy has actually suffered for a given span of time compared on how the situation that he looked to be in, because every time we'd see that he had complications into the stomach. Every time he would be there, we see him being taken back to Aga Khan, from there being flown outside the country, some other countries, also seek for medical attention. But as we're speaking right now, the guy is no more. And all I can say is that Kawempe is not having a member of parliament by now, because this guy has still been the member of parliament as we are heading to the 2026 general elections. So let's wait and see how things will be. Could there be anyone to step in for this short span, or maybe before we proceed, that is the video over there has the body of the member of parliament is being laid before, and that is the members of parliament to mourn or to have their last. That is his body in parliament. Leader of opposition, Joe Sanyon, together with some other that is a members of parliament from Once again, our viewers of Welcome Television, welcome back from that very video together with the video over Kabalega Resort. So that is actually what is happening to the parliament today, and those are some of the key stories that have actually made rounds at this very week, and some other stories that have actually happened in different localities. But as I'm speaking, those are some of the stories that are actually surfacing onto the social media platforms and everywhere that everybody is looking at this very week. That is all we had for you for today, and let's catch up again. That will be on Friday onto this very particular show entitled Agafiire Mu Wiki, and just keep locked to Welcome Television for some other interesting programs that will be coming up next, like the Vive Vault that will be coming up late into the evening. Just keep locked onto the screens. My name is Mr. Hayes, and let's catch up again. That will be on Friday next week. God bless.